Always nice to know the smoke detectors work. So, all right, here we go. So unlike the other side, I cut really close. I was trying to get the weld out. I was trying to get as close to the weld as I could and ended up going into the frame. This time I can be a little more precise now that I've got the horn off itself. I can get in here and be a little more precise with the cutting disc and yeah, pry this piece off. I'll just cut right down a little bit and then pry it off one piece at a time, just a little piece at a time. The same over here. And I'll just cut in. This one's only tacked on right here. Get my light over here. You guys can see this here. Just a sec. These little mechanic lights are great. I had to put new batteries in it last night, otherwise I would have been using it here. There we go. There we go. All right. So, right here, man, my neighbor came over. We were talking about the welding that they did on the assembly line. They must have had stick welding. They just blasted this together because, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, there's a weld right there, a weld right there. Once I get those two, I'll just cut won't go real deep, and I'll cut right here and right here, and then I can get this piece off. The bottom section is welded pretty solid all the way across the bottom, so what I did last night was I did little diagonal cuts this way and then some diagonal cuts this way, and a lot of it came off, and then I ground it from there. This side, you can see there's one weld right there. I'll have to this is the rivet that I took off on the other side, and then there's a weld right here, so I'll just cut right along here you guys can see that, there you go. I'll just cut real shallow right here, and then along the top I'll cut shallow right here, here, and then I'll run along the top of this guy, and everything else should drop off, then I can just grind down the rest. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm not going to show it on the video, but you guys will be able to see it when it's all done. But that's the plan. So if I run into any problems or anything, I'll let you guys know, and I'll videotape what's going on. All right, so this is what it looks like when I've put in little cuts. So you can see I try to, right as I feel it touch the frame, then I go up to the top. Now I'll come back with the chisel and try to chisel these out. I'm going to cut right along the top, one bead or one seam right along the top here, and then I might just try to pry these off. If I chisel them off, if they don't chisel off, then what I'll do is I'll cut into them a little bit more, try to relieve. The bottom I am going to come up at an angle based on where I see the bottom of the frame, the curve come up, and then I'll cut and then do some grinding from there. So I just wanted you guys to see what I was talking about earlier. I didn't end up doing the diagonal cuts on this one. I just decided to go straight in versus the other side where I did little diagonal cuts. So, yep. And here we go. So I see they come right off, which is nice. Makes it a lot easier. So after chiseling the pieces, I've got my respirator on, so that's why my voice sounds odd. This is what we end up with. Last time I didn't cut as many little pieces out, or as many little channels, so I had a lot more grinding to do. This time there's not a lot, even though when I was chiseling one of the pieces out, it did break through the frame right here, so I'll weld that little piece in. There's a lot of garbage in this frame. So that's what we're looking at. I'll come back now with the grinder, grind this up, and the next video you guys will see, it'll all be ground down and look like the other side, and then I'll come back with the welder. I'm going to test fit everything, and then I'll come back with the welder and weld up all the little tiny places that I got in here and clean it all up. All right, guys, so this is how we're doing. We're moving along.